Hello, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between and beyond. My name is Ted. Welcome back to the OverAchievers Podcast, episode 34, A Dance for the Gods. Joining me today is, well, I wouldn't say a long-time guest, an old friend, a man that I love, that I hopefully you do too. Joining us today is John.
It's John. It feels like it's actually been a while since I've done this. I don't know if it actually has, though.
Well, okay, let's see. I recorded 2 episodes, so 32 and 33 were not you.
What?
Was 31 you? I can't remember.
I don't know what any of the numbers are.
I've been recording with some coworkers recently, so I know I did 2 with Rich, 2 with James. That's 4 episodes. That's a good 4 months worth of content, quote unquote.
That's a third of a year.
Has been. It is a third of a year. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So it has been, as the kids would say, a hot minute.
I think
since you and I have recorded.
the last one I did was either my Shin Megami Tensei episode or your Sekiro episode.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think it has been a while.
I think it was Shin Megami Tensei, because I'm pretty sure that was episode. No, actually, it might have been Sekiro, which is episode 30.
So yeah, it has actually been a while. Not even just for release, but also us sitting down and recording this.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's good to be back.
Oh god. Yeah. No, I'm happy to have you. So, Mr. John, what game are you going to be talking about today?
Today, Taylor, I'm really excited to be talking about the game Redfall. No.
I was like, we joked about getting Redfall, but
no, we cannot do Redfall. Today,
well, exactly, we don't have enough friends.
It's true, and I don't think people have it anymore. But anyway, today, I'm talking about a game that I know you're very excited to talk about. Is Kunitsu Gami: Path of the Goddess.
Let's go.
So, a little bit of background for this episode, I guess, was 2 days ago, Taylor sent me a message and he said, "Hey, you got any games to talk about for the podcast?" And I went through my recent games and I was like, actually, no. Because the two big games I'd worked on recently, both were both very long, and they both required multiple playthroughs, and I hadn't wanted to do multiple playthroughs back to back. So two games that I was planning on getting all achievements for, which is Metaphor, Refantasio, and Lies of P. I just wasn't in the headspace to do them right away. So I was like, what have I been doing recently? And it's those games, which is why I didn't really have anything to talk about.
Man, I've considered Lies of P, because I did a full playthrough and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do New Game Plus, because some of those bosses are just disgustingly hard.
Yes, yeah, they really are. And because I did a blind playthrough, I think I have to do 2 more playthroughs, New Game Plus and New Game Plus Plus.
Oh, I guarantee I did the same thing as you did, where I think I know what 2 achievements you're talking about, and you went part of one without realizing you had to stick to one side or the other.
Probably, yeah, I think.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that kind of put me off going to do it right away. Also, there's DLC coming out at some point, and I feel like I would rather do the DLC on not New Game Plus.
That's fair. I didn't know there was DLC coming out.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, just kind of announced somewhat recently.
I played it on Game Pass, so I have it on my Steam wishlist, so I'll probably at some point pick it up on Steam and just do a proper New Game and New Game Plus cycle, planned for it.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. That was my my Christmas holidays game. It was so much fun.
That's fair. And yeah, I've kind of figured you would go for Refantasio. Metaphor, I guess.
Metaphor, Refantasio. It's just it's such a long game. It took me 50 hours. It took me literally 2 months to do it, and I just wasn't ready to go back into it right away.
Yeah, you and your JRPGs, man.
I love them, but the last Persona games, you could do them in 1 playthrough, but this one you had to do 2 playthroughs, and I was like, I'm not ready. Especially after Shin Megami Tensei, which was 6 playthroughs.
God, yeah. Oh god. Okay.
Anyway,
so I have an important question. Sorry, I realized I kind of completely stole this from you.
No, it's fine. No, this is partially your episode, because this was your game of the year of 2024. So this is a game that you're also very excited to talk about.
I really am, and I need to ask, did you play this on Game Pass?
No, my girlfriend actually bought this game for me for Christmas. So
oh wow,
I played it on Steam.
Okay, because I know you were hesitant to get it at full price, and I understood that reluctancy.
I was, and yeah, without Vanessa, I probably wouldn't have played it so quickly, but she knew I was interested in it, and it was on it had like an okay sale, like 30% on the winter sale, so we got it there. And pretty much as soon as I finished Liza P, I think I just hopped into this one.
Are you okay with me leaving her name in? Do you want me to bleep it?
Oh no, that's fine, yeah.
Alright, well then shout out to Vanessa. You are the GOAT. Thank you.
Yes, I love my girlfriend Vanessa very much.
I mean, I love her. I think she's fantastic for many reasons. This just adds to the pile.
Exactly. She made me play Kunitsu Gami way sooner than I otherwise would have.
Yeah, I was so surprised when you said you were going to play this. I was, oh, let's go.
And yeah, I knew I had to try and get all achievements to talk about it with you, because I thought that would make for a fun episode. And so, yeah, going back a couple of minutes, Taylor asked, do you have any games to cover for the podcast? And I was like, give me one day and I'll let you know. And I think literally yesterday, I did all of New Game Plus in this, or like 90% of New Game Plus to get the last few achievements.
Oh my god, you grinded, dude. You are a mad lad.
Yeah, I think I played for like 7 hours yesterday.
That's insane. I thought you were like, oh, I just got, like a couple things left to do, and then it's good. Not the entire New Game Plus cycle.
Yeah, no, I had most of the second playthrough to go.
What?
I finished it at like 7:30 yesterday. I was like, I did it!
Dude, that is incredible.
Thank you.
Oh, God. Okay, so for context, I know I'm talking a lot, I have preconceived knowledge, and half the time when I have a guest on and they've played a game, I have not played that game.
Yeah.
But for Kunitsu Gami, as John mentioned, it was my game of the year for 2024. On his channel, I will link that video down below. But I am currently, and was at the time of recording, 2 achievements away from getting all achievements, and I haven't gone back to get those last 2 because, and I'll get into it later, there was one reason at the very least that stopped me, and I'll get into that later. But I have very much a lot of experience with this journey. I know what John has gone through to get here, and I am so proud.
I know exactly what those 2 achievements are, and I'm sure we'll get to them during this episode, but yeah. I wasn't expecting it to be quite as intense as the last couple of hours were yesterday.
That's fair. That is fair. Okay, so, John, can you give us a quick rundown on, the gameplay of Kunitsu Gami, because it is, I don't want to say an abstract one, but it's not a very common one these days.
I do truly believe that you cannot grasp the gameplay of this game until you play it yourself. Taylor talked about it for like 10 minutes in his video. I edited that, listened to him explain it over and over, had the gameplay on screen, still had no idea what the game was about. I watched like a 30-minute skill up video on it, still had no idea what the game was about. But I do think the best way to explain it is a tower defense game.
Okay.
Basically, the game is divided into different stages that escalate in difficulty as you go along throughout the game. You play as a character called So, whose goal is to guide the goddess along a path, essentially. And each stage has pretty much a beginning and an end, and you and the goddess start at the beginning, and you have to travel along the path to the end of the stage. And stages are split up into day and nighttime. During the day, you're free to run around, make the path that the goddess has to walk along towards the end of the stage, recruit villagers who will be your towers, I guess, for lack of or to try and lump it into the tower defense category, and gather the resources you need to complete the level, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And at night, the exit gate that you're heading for, that the goddess spends the day slowly walking towards, turns away from being an exit and becomes an entrance for the enemies of the game, the horde of enemies that all make a beeline for the goddess. And your goal is to basically progress as much during the day as you can and survive the waves of enemies at night, and then repeat until the goddess reaches the end of the stage during the day and you can complete the stage. And I guess the key part is during the day you rescue villagers and you can assign them various roles, and they do become your units for surviving the waves of enemies. You can make them into woodsmen who do melee attacks, you can make them into archers who do ranged attacks, but the key is that you can reassign their roles whenever you want, as long as you've got the currency, and you can also relocate them whenever you want. So it's a very malleable tower defense, I guess. That's kind of the best I could explain it, but it is really, really hard to grasp until you actually play it yourself.
No, and I think that's a reasonable explanation. I always kind of associated it more with Pikmin in the sense that, you know, you have guiding controls to where you put your villagers, and like each villager can fill whatever role you assign them within certain limitations. So it reminded me very much of Pikmin, and like, you know, certain Pikmin were good at certain things.
Okay. Yeah.
And that each one is meant to be specialized for some sort of role, whether it's running interference and debuffs, whether it's being more of like a tank, or more in that traditional tower defense style, like a ranged damage dealer.
Yeah, I mean, it's got elements of that. It's got elements of base, not quite building, but base rebuilding, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a lot to this game, and yeah, honestly, don't worry if you don't understand the gameplay, because I didn't before I played it myself.
And that is very fair. Okay, no, and it is a weird game
It's weird.
that I checked out on a whim, and I don't regret it at all.
No, it's really weird, and I was like a little bit wary because, like, I know you recommended it really highly, but like also our lists last year were completely different, so I didn't know if like it was guaranteed that I would like it, but here we are talking about it. Obviously, I loved it.
Yeah, no, and I'm so happy.
I'm glad to.
Okay, so how many achievements does the game have?
So this game has 48, which I think once again falls inside, you know, kind of the typical range for this show.
Yeah, I think so. I would love to just give you like an average of like all the games that I've covered in terms of what it is, but the problem is, James, great guy, honestly, fantastic guy, completely screwed up the metric when he talked about the Binding of Isaac, because it has almost 1,000 achievements.
And
so it drastically, you know, brings up that average.
True, it must. And it doesn't Halo 2 have a lot? I haven't listened to the episode yet.
Halo 2, the Anniversary Edition, the one that we talked about, actually only has like 43.
Okay, I guess I'm thinking of...
But the Master Chief Collection has almost 800.
That's the one
But that's like 6 games.
Okay, I understand. So yeah, I mean, apart from the Binding of Isaac bumping those stats up, the number's like probably not that drastic. No, that'll really mess up the
I would
stats.
say it is well within like the 45 to 50 range is pretty typical.
It would be interesting, like, if you excluded like the outliers, like Binding of Isaac, like what is the average?
Maybe for the 3-year anniversary, episode 36, I'll do that.
Okay, some fun facts about the podcast.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't need to ask you if this was your first time playing, because obviously it was.
Yeah, actually, I mean, I can... So I finished this on January 26th, and I started it on January 12th, so...
Oh my god, you literally finished it within 2 weeks.
I did everything within 2 weeks, so there you go,
That is
yeah.
insane. And obviously you have not gone back to the game because you literally just finished it. Do you think you would go back sometime in the future, though?
That's a hard one. You do so much in this game when you go for all achievements, it doesn't really feel like it would be worth it. And I feel like you learn so many things and you internalize all the systems that I feel like it would be really difficult to come back in a year and just like hop into a stage, you know?
No, that's fair.
So yeah, I don't know, but partially because I've got so many games, and yeah, partially because it is kind of quite a difficult game to come back to, I think. But yeah, no plans to right now.
Okay, that's understandable. Okay. That's part of the reason I haven't gone back, is just because it's like you said, it's so mechanically complex that when you're out of it, it's just like, no, I can't. You can't just jump right back in.
So when were your playtimes then? Like, how long's it been?
Oh god. Hang on, let me double check here, because I can just put my...
Because yeah, I could not imagine trying to come back to that final boss without having done like everything just before it.
Hang on. Wait, no, what? Hang on, it's trying to launch something. And I'm
Sick. He's playing Kunitsu Gami on air right now.
No, it's trying to launch Ninja Gaiden 2 because I installed it recently.
Okay.
Get out of here. Whatever this is, get out. Stop trying to launch the game. I'll play you later. Let's see. Where do I see my? So it is annoying to actually find your stats on
the Xbox app.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been like at least 2 months, right? Because you sent me the footage for Kunitsu Gami for the top 5 video, and we recorded that early December, mid-December.
Yeah. Okay. So, August 4th of 2024 is when I got my last achievement for the game.
Oh my god.
So it has been, again, a hot minute.
Literally at the time of recording, that's a week shy of half a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not envy you going back for that last couple of achievements.
Yeah, I'm technically missing 3 because I don't have the get all achievements achievement, but I don't usually count that one.
Oh, I see. I was counting that one. Then I'm not sure what the other one you don't have is, but I'm sure we'll get there.
Honestly, there was one that's like, I could do it if I was determined, and it's fine. It's just a little bit of a grind, and then there's one that I'm like, no.
Interesting.
No, and it's probably for a much smaller reason than you think.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I might have these the wrong way around then. I'll be in. Okay. Yeah, we'll see.
So, how... Obviously, it only took you 2 weeks, you absolute mad lad. How many hours has it taken you?
So it took me 35 hours, which
I
thought was quite reasonable, and then I looked at how long to beat, and the average for 100%ing it is 33 hours, which is 2 less than my playtime.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know what I was doing wrong, but apparently something.
Everything.
2 hours wasted.
Yeah, I have... I hate to say this, I have 34 hours and 42 minutes.
Interesting. So yeah, literally, if you did the last couple of things, you'd probably be about my playtime. Hooray!
But yeah, I think I'd be about 36 hours. So like, yeah, just slightly over yours.
Okay, that's good. That makes me feel better. I don't know. I was surprised to see 33 hours because normally I feel like I'm under the average on how long to beat, but definitely not this time.
No, that's fair. So this one I'm curious because I do want to compare just a little bit here. What were the hardest and easiest of you?
Okay, so easiest, I went for kind of the gimme one. It's called Embark on the Path, which I think literally just happens like after the prologue, after like the introduction.
Yeah.
It's where you escape from the Seath with the maiden. That was the first one I got. I don't really remember that one, but I'm pretty sure it's like during the tutorial.
Yeah, no, I think that one, if I remember, and again, it's been a while, that is like very early stages.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's literally just finish the tutorial and you get this achievement. Which, yeah, it's the easiest one.
No, that's fair. That is fair. Okay. I think that's a fair decision.
Yeah, there's not really any other easy ones, I guess, because there are a lot of achievements for finish this stage, beat this boss, finish this stage, beat this boss. And then there's kind of a lot of simple ones, but they all come over the course of a full playthrough. So there's not really that many choices for easiest, in my opinion.
No, and I agree. A lot of them are the gimmies, so to speak, and then you have the ones that you really have to work for.
Yeah. Or like, there's a lot that you don't really have to work for. They all just come with a lot of time.
That's also true.
Like, one of them is like, spend like 100,000 of the currency or something, which sounds insane, but like, it popped for me probably about halfway through New Game Plus or something like that.
Yeah, no, New Game Plus definitely skews how easy or hard some they're going to be, because you're like, oh, how am I ever going to do this? New Game Plus, you're like, hang on, what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So like a core mechanic of the game is after most stages you've got a boss fight, and for all the boss fights you've got a secondary goal of beating the boss within a certain time limit. And in New Game, some of them are quite tricky, but they're all doable. So like the first boss, I think you have to beat it in like a minute and a half or something. And like, I remember I had to try it like 3 or 4 times or something on my first playthrough, but I got it. And then New Game Plus, I looked at the time after I killed it, and it was 8 seconds.
Oh my god.
Because, yeah, New Game Plus, you're just so strong, you can absolutely demolish all the early bosses, at least.
Yeah, no, and I 100% agree. And it's funny, I'm gonna get to this later, but like I had far fewer problems with the bosses than I did with some of the other things that are what really restricted me.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I think. Okay. I might know what you're going to talk about, and yeah, I'd agree. That is very difficult.
Okay. So what would you say is the hardest one for you?
Okay. The hardest one is one that I don't think you're. Well, you can probably talk about.
But, I'm happy. Yeah. Even if it's the one I think it is, I'm happy to mention it. It's fine.
Yeah. I don't think you have this one, because it was ridiculous. The hardest achievement for me was called The End, which is where you defeat Cursed So.
I do have that one.
What? You did? What?
Yes. It is the dumbest thing, and I will explain it in a minute, but I absolutely do have this one, and I loved this boss fight. It was so hard.
I hated this boss fight.
It took me so long to get through it, but like it was such a good boss fight. Well, okay, outside of like the instant death arrows, those pissed me off.
Oh my god, the arrows made me so
I will
mad.
include because I have the whole game recorded. I still am gonna do at some point like a review video of the game.
Okay.
This has actually encouraged me to get back onto that. I will include footage of that boss fight in the video so that you can all see what we're talking about. It is a hard boss fight.
The arrow spam, like, always instant targets you, like, just blitzes down all your villagers instantly. So frustrating. Yeah, I thought this was a ridiculously difficult boss. What a massive difficulty spike compared to any other boss in the game.
Oh, absolutely. 100% agree.
I couldn't believe how tough it was. At my first attempt, I was like, okay, this must be one of those where you're designed to lose, and then you get a cutscene and you like come back stronger or something. Nope, you just got to get good.
Yep. Nope.
And be really lucky.
100% is a big test of can you improve? Can you do what is asked of you when that is absurd?
And I do think there is a certain amount of luck. Like, oh, did Cursed So snipe all your villagers right at the start? Or were they just focusing on you, and your villagers got lucky and were spared?
Yep, no, that's fair. That is fair.
That's kind of what happened to me on my winning attempt. Was I think I had like 5 sorcerers, something like that.
Oh yeah.
And they were just left completely alone, like the entire fight. So they were just constantly spamming their magic.
Yeah, I think sorcerers and the healers, I can't remember what their class was, are like the best ones to take in.
Yeah, I had a shaman trying to heal them. Shaman died like right away, and I was like, okay, whatever, this is not going to go well. But the sorcerers just ended up not being targeted at all, and they kind of carried me. And I had a couple of sumo wrestlers as well that kind of carried me.
Oh, I love my sumos. Love my sumos.
Great unit. But yeah, it was just an insanely difficult boss, and I really did feel that like my winning attempt was just luckier than my other attempts, because all my other attempts kind of got to or lasted a similar length of time to the winning one, but yeah, the winning one just happened to go better.
Okay. So I will say, and I'll get this out of the way now because I don't want to talk too much about my own experiences. For me, the one I didn't get, and the one that is the hardest, is Mountain Watch, which is all the objectives in every stage, including those in New Game Plus, because there is one stage. It's one of the like solo nighttime escort stages where you don't have any villagers. There is one side objective where there's the stupid thing that jumps up in the air and you have to like parry it when it comes down, like 3 times, and I cannot for the life of me do it.
Wait, the objective you didn't get was just parry this guy 3 times?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
I did that on New Game. It was really easy.
Oh, I didn't do it on New Game. I was trying to do it on New Game Plus, and that like I can't go back to New Game at this point.
I still think it's really easy. I never like really learned the parry timing. I think it's the guy that does like this when he's about to attack
exactly.
you.
That's the sound, and then he jumps up in the air and he comes down at you. And I can never get my parry timings right.
I found it so easy. As soon as I heard him go, "Woo-loo-loo-loo," I would literally just mash left bumper, and I would parry him every single time.
Oh my god.
Every single time without fail. I did not do the timings, I just mashed left bumper to parry, and it worked perfectly.
Is that one, and then just purifying 200 cursed animals, just because I hadn't purified enough at that point.
Oh,
so like I said, that's the one I can go back and do anytime. It's just the stupid parries that I'm like, I don't want to deal with this.
Oh man. Oh, I definitely thought you still had to beat the final boss.
No, I 100% I got the final boss, and I'm like, this is amazing. I felt so good, and then this like that guy just killed me over and over. I'm like, I could beat the final boss, but I can't do this.
Oh man, I feel like if you try it and just try like the mashing left bumper as soon as he does his woolululu, I think you'll get it.
Oh, probably.
I was definitely expecting you to say like the one you couldn't do, because there's like one of the nighttime ones, one of the stages where you don't have any villagers and it's just you and Yoshiro. And one of those, the objective in New Game Plus, is to not take any damage throughout the entire stage.
That's the same stage. It's the exact same stage.
It is the same stage, yeah.
And that's what I was struggling with. I was trying to parry him and not take any damage. I think I did get the parry objective. I think it is that he kept hitting me and I was taking damage because of him.
Okay, yeah, so I did the parries on New Game, and so when I went into New Game Plus, my only objective was, I mean, there's two, but the other one was to not take any damage, and it was really stressful, and I reset that stage a lot, but it was doable.
And he causes me to reset because he hits me every time.
Interesting. I don't remember. It wasn't him that was the issue for me. It was these little thin.
Oh, the floaty wisps.
At you.
Ah, yep.
No, not the floating ones. They're like the standing up ones.
Okay, yeah,
They
I know what
spit
you're
at
talking
you.
about. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, those, because like some of So's animations kind of lock them in place for a bit too long, and I would just like see this little orange ball coming towards me. I'd be like, "Fuck, here's a reset."
Yep.
But
wait, I always thought So was a woman.
I think So's only referred to as they.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Constantly.
But
so
like,
I don't really know.
When their like helmet disappears, like it's a reflection of the goddess.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was like So's true form or literally just a reflection
Plus,
of the goddess.
Cursed So clearly has.
True. Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Like that is a female armor set or a feminine shaped armor set.
Yeah, I did notice that. And also, my So was a wolf most of the time.
Oh my god, you're such a furry.
Even though I haven't played Okami, I was like, wow, look at this cool armor.
Okay. So now I'm curious, what were the most and least fun for you?
Okay, well, least fun, I'm going to say it's the Cursed So boss fight. We'll just lump it in there because, yeah, I did not like that at all. Most fun, there's quite a few to pick from, but I went for one that you've already mentioned, which was Return to Nature, which is where you purge 200 wild animals of the defilement.
Okay. And so why did you enjoy that one?
So basically, when you're on a stage during the day, there's usually a few corrupted animals, and if you attack them and knock the corruption off them, they become friendly and go see the goddess during the day, and they also drop a ration, which you can use to heal yourself or heal your villagers. Mm-hmm. And I found this fun because by the end of the game, I had so many increased So's attack power talismans equipped that no matter what animal it was, I would quickly shoot an arrow at them and they would instantly be purified. Whereas like at the start of the game, like even a deer, you're having to like smack it like 3 or 4 times with your sword.
Yep.
And the birds will fly away before you can get to them with your sword. But yeah, by the end of the game, I'd just be running along, just tapping left trigger constantly, just blasting animals left and right.
So John's a serial killer. He's just murdering wildlife.
I was purifying them, thank you.
Oh, is that what you call it now?
That's what I would call it. But yeah, I found it quite fun. Mostly just because it was satisfying to see
to
like
shoot animals.
No, no, to go from like struggling at the beginning of the game, because like one of the early stage has an optional objective to like purify 5 animals, and I remember it was kind of difficult because they would just keep running away. And then to go at the end of the game just blasting them apart.
All right then, Danny DeVito.
Just started blasting. It was great. Yeah, it was a pretty fun one.
No, that's fair. Okay, that's good. I never really looked at it as like that big of a thing, so I was just like, whatever. And that's why that's the only reason I haven't done that one, is just because I gotta just go back and finish it. Like, it's just a tedious thing.
It is, and I think that is also one of, I don't know how it works on Xbox, but that is one of the achievements that's marked as a hidden achievement on Steam.
Yeah, same with Xbox.
Okay, so like this is one that, like, unless you're looking up the achievements, you don't know this is a task to do. I was lucky that I was just constantly blasting animals because it was fun.
Oh, you didn't know you were supposed to?
No, not until I didn't look up the achievements until I was on the final boss of New Game. And then, let me tell you, it was quite a shock that I had to do New Game Plus, because I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't find out about New Game Plus until after I did the boss. I was like, wait, what?
Wait, hang on. Why am I missing like 12 achievements?
And then I was thinking, okay, you know what? I'll try New Game Plus. I'll see what's different. Obviously, increased difficulty, and then you hit the final boss fight. I was like,
yeah.
Like, I don't play a whole lot of games with a secret final boss, so I think it had more. And I know they exist. I'm well aware of the concept, but it's just like, I think for me, given I don't see it as often, experiencing that definitely left a better impression.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, there are quite a lot of... Normally, I feel like Steam games save their hidden achievements for like story ones, whereas this one just has like a bunch of random tasks, like purge 200 animals as a hidden achievement. So like I saw all these hidden achievements, I was like, what story stuff could I possibly have? And then yeah, like I checked them, I think like after I beat the final boss in New Game, and I was like, oh, you know, I'm kind of on my way to doing this already, and I just kept blasting animals throughout.
Yeah, I hadn't been as focused on the animals after a while, and I didn't know I needed to, so that made it more difficult for me to catch up in that regard.
Yeah, especially because you're kind of set for rations eventually in the game. Like you don't need to collect them in each stage. Like your villagers probably aren't being hit. You've got a shaman healing them if they are. You don't really need the healing items.
Or you've got the sorcerer just taking them all out.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, no, that's fair. I'm kind of surprised you said that one. Interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Okay, so now I'm curious. This is a completely separate question. What do you think was your favorite boss fight?
Ooh.
Because obviously not the last boss.
No, obviously not the last boss. You know, I think my favorite, and I don't know any of their names.
Yeah, that's okay.
Was the solo boss fight where you fought
the one with the giant sword.
Yeah, he's like a little bit like Midra from Shadow of the Erd Tree. He's like got this very fluid dance-like movement. And he swishes around with his sword. I thought that was a super fun fight, and it was probably like the most soulsy one because you are just by yourself.
Yes, I really like that one too. I believe that was Buposo.
Okay, sure.
I'm just trying to read the names off the Steam, the Xbox achievements here.
Okay. The only one I remember is Batsu, I think, which is the one that like steals your abilities at the start of the game. And then he's the guy with the big butt that you have to attack.
Yep.
Honestly, most of the bosses are all good. Actually, I don't think there's like really a bad boss.
I didn't particularly like the Notsugo, the frog one, the
demon song. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I didn't hate that one. That one was okay.
Yeah.
Which one was your favorite?
I'm kind of between Bupotso, it's like the one you had, and I also really liked Raikubo. He was the one like the thunder mage thingy.
Oh, and he like shoots like the line of spikes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good one. Yeah.
I like the cursed soul. I know you did and that is completely understandable.
Yeah, no, I did not like that one. I didn't love the spider boss.
No.
Because she just runs away from you constantly, and it was really frustrating, especially when you're trying to kill it in a time limit, and it just runs from you. Yeah,
I also didn't like the tree root thingy.
Yes, that the cherry tree of Nakahara or whatever. Yeah, that one was really kind of gimmicky, and also, like, not very well optimized. Like, that fight was the only thing that would lag my game. And it's just weird that like it's second phase or whatever where it like summons this thing from the ground, the actual boss just stands still and you can't hit it and it doesn't do anything. That's not a great boss. You're right.
No. Anyway, we'll get there later. So what was the rarest achievement on like the Steam list other than just getting all achievements?
So the rarest one is another one that you've talked about already, was Mountain Watch, which is where you complete all objectives in every stage, including those in New Game Plus.
I think that's fair.
So basically on New Game, every stage has 3 optional objectives, and then when you go into New Game Plus, they add 2 new optional objectives. And yeah, I mean, I can see why this is a rare one. Like, if you're not going for all achievements, they're completely optional. Like, they give you currency to upgrade your character and your units. They give you, like, talismans and stuff, but, like, if you're not going to 100% the game, there's not a huge reason to do them, I don't think. So yeah, that kind of explains why it's pretty rare and why most people don't have it. And also, some of them are really tricky.
Yep.
Like, I assume this includes killing every boss in the time limit.
It does, yep.
Okay. Yeah, and lots of those are really hard, especially if you don't go into New Game Plus. So yeah, I can see why people don't have this one.
No, same here, absolutely. Given that I'm one of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the second rarest? What do people find just slightly more tolerable than that?
It's weird. Okay, so that one. Okay, so Unlock All Achievements has 3.9%.
Okay.
Mountain Watch has 4.7%.
Okay.
Which I don't know how there's like any
like
disparity.
what are you missing after that?
Yeah, exactly. But then the one after that is Mountain Goddess Folklore, which is where you get all the Emaki scrolls.
Seriously?
And do them all. And
well, I guess
got
that one would be
6.1%.
tied. That one would be tied with getting all of the sub-objectives, because some of them do give those.
And you can't do that one until you beat the true final boss, Curse So.
That's also true.
Which is very funny, because defeating Curse So has 6.7% completion.
Oh, wow.
And then the Emaki Scrolls is 6.1%.
Okay.
Which means that there's like 0.6% of players beat the final boss and then didn't go to the tent to look at the Emaki Scrolls.
Or maybe they missed another one like previously.
Maybe they did. Yeah, you're right.
Because yeah, that is a weirdly small step, unless they're like, they just broke their system after beating So. Like, I'm so done with this.
Maybe. And like, because you get the scroll for beating So, but you don't get the achievement until you actually go and look at them in the tent. So yeah, there's probably some people who are like, yep, I'm done. I beat the final boss. I don't care about achievements. I'm done.
Yeah. No, and that's fair. That is fair. That's really interesting though. I was not expecting to be in the majority for missing achievements.
Yeah, no, that's a couple of weird ones at the end. So do you want to talk about what's your other one that you don't have?
The other one I don't have is the animals.
Oh, right. That's right. That's okay. Only 8.6% of people have that one.
Okay.
There's
Again,
a lot of really
surprised.
low completion at the end.
Yeah, holy crap. That is so weird. Okay. So, what was the most memorable one for you? Because I'm so curious about this.
Yeah, there's a lot that could go in here, honestly. The one I chose was Wisdom and Courage.
Okay.
Which is where you finish all boss fights up to the Great Shrine Passage, which is like the second last stage, within a total of 20 minutes in one playthrough.
Yeah.
And this is super easy to do if you're going for the goal of killing every boss within the time limit. But I remember I had beaten every boss within the time limit, and I was on the spider boss that runs away.
Oh, yep.
And
yep.
It was my first time doing it, and she was running away constantly, and it was so frustrating. And I was like, God, yeah, there's no way this is under the time limit. Not at all. And I beat her, and it got to like the victory screen, and this achievement popped up, and I was like, whoa. And I still didn't kill this boss in the time limit. But I was still like, wow, that means I did extra well on all the other bosses that I had time to spare to do this boss in not a good time and still get the achievement.
No, that's fair. I think, yeah,
And
I totally understand the struggle.
yeah, they're hard. They're really hard, but I like that achievement. It's a fun one, and it's also forgiving because it's not like the achievement isn't kill every boss under the time limit. It's kill all the bosses within this global time limit, which I think is quite a cool way of doing that achievement.
No, that is really good. Did you get that in New Game or New Game Plus?
New Game.
Okay, yeah, same here. I'm so glad I got a New Game and didn't have to try for it in New Game Plus, because that spider in New Game Plus is just ridiculously stupid.
Yeah, I think every boss except for the spider gets way easier in New Game Plus. Like,
That's fair.
I think like every boss I was like under 20 seconds or something.
Even the Toad?
Okay, maybe not the Toad, but the Toad, I would basically use a big skill. It would stagger. I would critical hit it. It would recover, repeat, and I would just be dead like really quickly.
That's fair. Okay, no, that's really interesting though, that we had just such vastly different experiences.
Yeah, and I like I said, I didn't know New Game Plus was coming.
Yeah.
So I was making it my mission to make sure I got all the optional objectives, all the boss fights done in the time limit on my first playthrough, because I didn't know there was going to be another playthrough.
That's fair, and I didn't want to mention in my Game of the Year like nomination because I was like, I don't want to spoil this.
No, I appreciate that, because yeah, it was quite a shock.
Yeah, no, and it's not like a wholly different experience, but it is certainly a new experience compared to the first one.
It is, and it's also pretty fun just to blitz through some of the early levels, especially when you're so overpowered.
Yeah.
Even though it's harder and like they're throwing like strong enemies at you like right from the first level, you still just absolutely blitz through it, and it's very, very satisfying.
I think honestly the most memorable one for me had to be Cursed So, or like the one related to that boss fight, because like that boss fight just took so much out of me.
Yeah, it is very memorable.
For good and bad. I recognize the frustrations that come along with it.
Yeah, I'm still surprised to hear that you loved it, I guess, but
maybe it's one of those things, like, you know, it's like childbirth. You hate it in the moment, and then you look back on it fondly, forgetting all the pain you went through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's so fresh in my mind. Literally, I'm 24 hours removed from this boss fight.
Yeah.
Whereas you're like half a year to look back on it with fondness.
Yeah, that is interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let's see here. Is there an achievement you would remove from the game?
There's no really like bad ones. I think the only one, if I was forced to pick one, would be repeating history, which is where you begin New Game Plus. Like by the time you've got this achievement, or you're about to get this achievement, like it's already clear you're doing New Game Plus.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I've just never seen an achievement. I've seen loads of achievements for like completing New Game Plus, but literally just pressing the start button on New Game Plus, kind of a strange achievement.
It definitely seems redundant.
Yeah, it does, because there's no reward for pressing start on New Game Plus.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, like beating the final boss. You've beaten the final boss. You've completed the game. Like that's a rewarding achievement. Beginning New Game Plus, not really.
No, I agree. That is a weird decision on their part.
It's just kind of a weird achievement.
Okay. I don't think I'd remove any particular achievements. I might remove some of the side objectives from New Game Plus, but that's just like the ones that I found genuinely dreadful.
I can't really think. I don't think I struggled like horribly on any of the like New Game Plus objectives.
Well, you know what?
I think the ones I struggled with the most was So doesn't take any damage, because there's 2 stages that need that in New Game Plus.
I struggled with that one too.
But I don't remember if I mentioned it. I was going to, but the game is super forgiving with autosaves.
Very true.
Basically, at the start of every day, it'll autosave. At the start of every night, it'll autosave. Let's say you had like a really good day, and you get to the nighttime, and like 2 minutes in, you get hit. you just reload the start of the nighttime and you only lose like 2 minutes of progress. It's great.
No,
Or
that is fantastic.
if you're on like the third night and you take some damage, you just reload the third night. You really don't lose that much progress. So it's very forgiving like that.
No, that is absolutely very true, and I very much appreciate that.
Yeah, it's otherwise. Oh my god! Otherwise, like, can you imagine the stress of being on like the fourth night of not taking damage?
Oh, I would be pulling my hair out.
I probably would not have done it because those would be so stressful. They're stressful enough when I knew I could reload that night.
So, do you think there should be? Is there an action or way playing there should be an official achievement for?
Not that I could think of. I don't know if
Okay.
there's any you could put in here.
I think it'd be cool if there was like a speedrunning one, like, you know, doing each mission in the fewest possible number of nights, because I know the way that it's set up, you can play rather defensively in the sense of you make minimal progress and then just have more night cycles.
Right. Yeah, that'd be cool actually. Like a global counter, like finish the entire game in less than 40 nights or something like that.
Yeah, just like whatever the minimum number of nights it would take if you were making full progress during the day.
Yeah, that'd be really cool actually. Because yeah, like there is like the global counter for like the boss fight time. Yeah, I like that.
I think it would encourage a different kind of playstyle.
I feel like it would be quite a difficult game to speedrun.
It would be, absolutely.
And in fact it is. What do you think the world record is
Oh,
for
God.
a new game?
I'm gonna say, okay, difficult speedrun, that can range. I'm gonna say 7 hours.
The world record is 4 hours, 3 minutes.
That's still pretty long for a speedrun, especially on a game like this.
There's 2 runs. There's first place is 4 hours 3, and second place is 4 hours 34.
Are you gonna claim third place at 5 hours?
I don't think so. It's a really difficult game to speedrun, I think.
It is,
Like,
it
you need
absolutely
like
is.
flawless levels for like all 4 hours of that.
I wonder what a New Game Plus speedrun would look like.
Closed it. I can bring it back up.
That's all good,
'Cause I'm
don't worry about it.
interested.
Don't worry about
No,
it.
it's interesting. There's probably no runs.
Probably not. It's not exactly the
Ooh.
most popular game out there.
Okay, so there's 2 New Game Plus speedruns.
Or is that by the same people who did the New Game speedruns?
No, there's 2.
Oh.
Oh no, one of them's the same.
Okay.
But those are only 2 hours 42 and 2 hours 43.
Oh, wow.
And these were posted 12 and 13 days ago.
Oh, wow. What?
Yeah, so I mean,
That's
it's
crazy.
still a fairly new game. It's only been out like 3 months or something.
No, it's been out since I got achievements in July. It's been over 6
yeah,
months.
That's right.
Like 6 or
right.
7 months.
Why did I think it was so new?
Let's see. My first achievement, and I didn't play it right on release. I don't think anyway. Was on
It released July 18th.
I played it July 23rd. Okay, I played it less than a
Okay.
week before it came out.
Interesting. So yeah, the speedrun community is literally just popping up right now.
Crap, and this video's not going out till March. So much for relevancy.
That's so funny that those 2 achievements popped up during when I was playing the game.
No kidding.
Or those 2 speedruns.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, oh, Jardev's playing, Noiseberry Games is playing, I gotta run this.
Classic Jardev.
So, are you able to soft lock yourself out of any of the achievements?
My understanding is no. Do you have any insight on that?
No, I mean, not really. Like, you can replay any of the levels as many times as you want. Like you said, there's the autosave system for the days and the nights. Like, it's very forgiving, and it's very much go at your own pace. If you want to put it down for a while, I wouldn't recommend it only from a mechanical standpoint, but if you
Yeah.
need to, like, for your own sanity, you can do that relatively comfortably.
And like your progress carries over to New Game Plus, so in most stages there's like usually this hidden black chest that you either need a special class or you need a special ability to get. And I think I got most of them on New Game.
Okay.
And then I realized, oh, the ones that you do get carry over to New Game Plus. The ones that you don't, you can just get in New Game Plus. So like even if you miss things like that in New Game, you can just do them in New Game Plus. So yeah, no, I don't think you can soft lock yourself out of anything.
That's fair. That is fair. Okay. Yeah, it definitely breaks the mold on some of the questions that I have here.
Yeah.
How many times, and this is a pretty obvious one, how many times do you need to play the game to get all achievements?
You need to play twice, because, yeah, you have to finish New Game Plus to get all achievements.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is fair. That is fair, okay. Let's see. I think this is going to speed up in here. Does the game reward you for getting all achievements?
I thought so, because quite a few of the achievements are tied to the various collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were talking about the Amaki scrolls. Absolutely gorgeous to look at. I
Oh,
loved
they really are.
cycling through all those towards the end of the game when I'd got most of them. There's one for collecting all the sweets,
Mm-hmm.
which are literally just like traditional Japanese candies that you can read descriptions of, and you can view this super high-def, high-quality in-game 3D model of these sweets.
Mm-hmm.
Really satisfying to look at.
It's very otaku coded. Like, I don't mean that as in like, oh, it's like Japanese culture. It's very much for like someone who has a passing interest in Japanese culture but doesn't know much about it.
Yes. Yeah, it's quite educational in some senses.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I thought, yeah, you're rewarded along the way for getting all achievements by getting to look at all these cool things.
I would agree. I would very much agree.
Yeah.
Do the achievements themselves feel rewarding to obtain?
Yeah, I think so. The artwork for the achievements is really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at like some of them now, and I only just noticed. But basically, like the first achievement and the last achievement, both show the mountain in like the exact same place. And the first achievement is like a red mountain with like scary spirits in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final achievement is like a black mountain with a nice glowing gold sky with the sun rising and a tree branch. It's
okay.
It's literally just like mirror images, I guess, but like one shows like the end of the world and one shows the start of a new day. Yeah, there's a lot of attention that's gone into even just the artwork. And yeah, I think all the achievements are pretty cool. I think they've taken some care in all of them.
I appreciate that. I like that.
Especially the artwork, because yeah, we've seen some terrible achievement artwork, and these are really nice.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. These are gorgeous.
Yeah, they're lovely.
There's an episode coming out in February, for 9 Souls that I did with James, and that has some really nice artwork too.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that one, because I think that game is too hard for me, so I'm gonna learn about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I haven't tried it myself, but I have heard many a thing on its difficulty.
Yeah, people are like, do you like Hollow Knight and Sekiro? And I'm like, no.
Did you ever go back to Sekiro?
No, not yet.
Hmm.
But, I mean, I had so many games I had to cram in 2024 that I just didn't get a chance.
Yeah, that's fair.
But, like, Lies of P went so well, and, like, I'd parried a lot in Lies of P that I'm like, oh, maybe I actually can handle Sekiro now. So I just need, like, a bunch of downtime, really. I need, like, a month where there's no games to cover.
Yeah.
And then I'll finally play it, but yeah, not yet.
So, do you feel like the devs cared about the achievements for this game?
Yeah, we talked about that.
No, we asked if they feel rewarding.
Yeah, you're right.
And then we talked about the artwork.
Oh yeah, I answered that, I guess.
I guess, yeah, kind of. Okay, no, that's fair. I'll leave.
No, sorry,
that
that's my bad for
no, that's all good.
lumping 2 questions together.
Well, that's all good, and I kind of, I should have kind of taken that into account. Anyway, we already know that it does require you to get 100% in terms of doing the side objective, in terms of doing New Game Plus.
It doesn't. There's one objective you don't have to get.
Wait, what?
There is an optional objective to beat Cursed Soul, the final boss, in a specific time limit. And if you do that, you get a talisman. And you don't have to do this to get all achievements.
Oh.
Because I beat him, and I was like, I'm sure there's no time limit for this one, right? And it said I was like 2 minutes over the time limit. I was like, I'm not doing this. And then all my achievements popped. I was like, yes!
I didn't know that.
Yes, I was amazed. So yeah, you have to do like 99.5% of things but you can get all achievements with missing one objective and one talisman.
Wow, what are the odds?
I know, isn't that interesting? Because there's
That
no
is
achievement
crazy.
for collecting all the talismans.
Oh yeah, I guess there isn't.
Yeah.
I just
If
kind of
there
lumped it
was-
in with the other stuff.
Yeah, me too. I was shocked. I was like, I can't believe I'm gonna have to do this. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. And then
What the
on
hell?
like the final one popped. It's like you got all achievements. I'm like, I'm free.
That's insane.
Yeah, I was really, really surprised that I've marked everything off as complete except for that one thing, and I don't care.
No, that's fair. That is fair. I don't blame you for being like, nope, I'm not doing that.
Do you remember if you did it in the time limit?
I don't think I did.
Okay. Because that
Okay.
would make sense if you didn't know it was optional, like if you'd managed to get it, but it would be so hard to get.
It would. Yeah, that's fair. I definitely did more of, like I said, a defensive kind of play style against that boss. Just very much kiting it around, letting sorcerers do some work, letting some other villagers do some work.
That's pretty much how you have to play it. You just can't be too aggressive and like burst through all your resources too quickly. You kind of have to save most of it for the fourth phase.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth phase!
Which
Hell.
again, I thought was pretty cool.
Hell!
Evidently, I'm alone in that opinion, which is
No,
fine.
it was cool. I just didn't like it.
No, that's fair.
It was hard.
That is fair. Okay. Do the achievements themselves feel unique for whatever genre this is, which I don't really know how to classify this.
Yeah, so the answer I wrote down was, does this game have a genre?
I feel like it does, but I don't know what the genre would be.
It's like a lot of things kind of all lumped together and its own thing on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't think of any game to compare it to, honestly.
Okay, that's fair.
So yeah, yes, I guess.
Because it just makes its own genre.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Did you use any guides? Were there any guides you would recommend people use?
I didn't use like a specific all achievement guide because the descriptions on the achievements on Steam are all pretty self-explanatory. Like purge 200 wild animals, you know what you got to do. Defeat Curse So, you know what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because you can actually view hidden achievements on Steam. So yeah, like you don't have to look up a list of achievements or anything. But I
That's
did
fair.
use a few like level-specific guides from The Gamer, which is just a good site for this game that I found.
Okay.
Like one of the optional objectives on a stage is to break all 20 pots.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was decently confident I could find them all, but I just followed a guide on exactly where they were, like one by one, just to make sure I didn't miss any and have to like redo the stage. So yeah, just things like that. It was useful for, tips or kind of slight walkthroughs for some of the objectives.
Mm-hmm.
Like another one, there's a couple of levels that are set in a cave, and they're really dark, and you can light these torches along the way to light up the area and the mini-map so you can see what's going on. And on the second cave level, one of the optional objectives is to, because there's a new enemy introduced that goes up to your lanterns and extinguishes them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an optional objective to not let a single lantern become extinguished. And I was like, that sounds so difficult. How do you do that? And I went onto The Gamer for this level, and it was like, the best way to do this objective is to not light any lanterns in the first place. And I was like, that's brilliant. So I just did the whole thing in darkness, and it was like the easiest objective because it was literally impossible to fail it.
Okay, no, that's fair. I used a couple guides myself for, like you said, it's kind of specific level objectives.
Yeah.
I think I also followed a guide for how to beat Cursed So, or like the best recommended strategy.
Yeah, I definitely I looked up a little bit, and I think I tried a Reddit thread, and I think I used a couple of the strategies from the Gamer page on it.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right. You kind of have to look up what unit should I be using for this fight because it's hell.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. I guess this was a weird question because this is more one of if you kind of started it and then came back to it later. Has this changed the way you look at the game?
Yeah, I mean I did everything in 2 weeks.
I assume you don't regret that decision, because that's a choice.
No, definitely not. No, it was really fun, all the way through up until the final boss. But like, that was just a small part of it. But I had a great time doing it. Like I said earlier, I didn't realize it had New Game Plus before I went for all achievements. So I guess doing this has changed how I look at the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it does have like 2 parts, really. You know, you've got the first playthrough and a mandatory second playthrough for if you want to see everything.
Mm-hmm. No, that it does, and that second playthrough. I don't want to say it's. It doesn't like come out of nowhere, but they don't really prepare you for the fact that it's going to be coming.
No, and no, like yeah, there was no
It's
indication
unexpected.
that it was coming until the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, very unexpected.
Okay. So, my final question for you, sir. Would you recommend other people go for the all achievements?
Yeah, I think so. Like, 35 hours isn't a ton of time for 100% all achievements. With the caveat that the final boss is insanely hard.
Yep.
If you think you can handle that, go for it. I think you'll manage it pretty decently. Like I said, 35 hours isn't a huge time commitment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I would agree. I very much enjoyed the journey. I again had a better time with the final boss than you did, and I fully understand why. And I would absolutely myself also recommend people try it out. I think I'm trying to figure out if there's a type of player who would like genuinely hate this game.
Yeah, it's a hard game. Like,
It is.
It's so involved, and like you're constantly juggling units and like having to move them like throughout the game. Yeah, I think if you're looking for something quite chill, this is not that game, because
that's
it
fair.
is
I would agree
hard.
with that.
There's no difficulty settings. You have to learn the mechanics and master the mechanics if you want to finish it.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a fair assessment.
And also, if you don't like tower defense, I guess, like it has a lot going on, but I feel like you can compare it slightly to tower defense. So if you don't like that genre, you probably won't like this one.
That's fair. Also, if you're not into like the whole, I don't even want to say Japanese mythology thing, but like the traditional Japanese aesthetic,
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
then it's not going to grab you from a visual standpoint.
Yeah, true. Yeah, if you don't like Japanese artwork and creatures and designs and stuff, you're probably not going to get much out of this game.
Yeah, like it was definitely the most mechanically complex game I've played in a long time.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, like even from the start, it like expects you to learn it pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying to Vanessa, like, right when I started playing it, I was like, this game's really cool, but holy hell, is it really hard?
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think we have walked our path, Mr. John, and it's time for us to purify the weird head-shaking gate thingy.
Yes, very good.
All right, well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, everyone who would be on for joining us on this journey. We hope you want to check out Kunitsu Gami. We both highly recommend it. If there's any other games you want us to cover here on the podcast, please do leave that in the comments down below. Thank you, John, for joining me. Really appreciate having you again.
Thank you for having me. Always love doing this, so it's nice to do it after a little bit of a break.
Definitely have you on for episode 36. That'll be our 3 years, so I'll find someone else for 35 just to kind of keep. I'm not, sending you right in for 3 episodes back to back.
Especially because, I kind of struggled to get a game for this one. Like, I had to do like a full day.
Yeah. But do keep me informed next time you decide, you're going to complete Liza P or Metaphor, and I'll set up a date.
I think I usually try and tell you, like, I just finished this game. I think it would probably make for a good podcast episode. Wanna record it, just so you've got it.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you are watching out for those episodes. And you know what? We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.